Alright, welcome back and thanks for tuning in to another episode of barSILENCE. My name is Jameson, and I'm your host. barSILENCE is a show that's dedicated to exploring the very best video game music each and every month. If you haven't yet, head over to barSILENCE.com to find an easy link to subscribe on whatever your favorite podcatcher is. And if you're looking for the best 24/7 video game music radio station on the planet, check out 8beats Radio. This show plays there live on the first Tuesday of every month, and you can tune in by going to 8beats.co. You can also listen to this show on TerraPlayer.com, which is the premier location to hear a great variety of video game music and entertainment podcasts from some of the best creators on the internet. In this episode, we're going to be listening to the incredible, pulse-pounding, full-throttle soundtracks to both of the third games in the Ridge Racer series. Which of course is a little confusing, but we'll make some sense of that shortly. If you're familiar with this show, you know that I absolutely love racing games. And the Ridge Racer series is easily on the top of my personal favorites. There is something that's seriously captivating about racing through the familiar, yet ever-changing world of Ridge City. Whether you're flooring it through urban highways, speeding past beachside coastlines, or drifting through winding mountain vistas, I just can't get enough of these games, and I'm excited to get into this sequel episode. Way back in episode 12, called Ridge Racer, Ridge City FM1, we listened to the soundtracks of Ridge Racer 2, as well as Ridge Racer Revolution, featuring the music of composers like Shinji Hosoe, Nobuyoshi Sano, and Ayako Saso. These legends came together to create an absolutely thrilling set of 90s club music-inspired tunes that were specifically designed to push you to the limit each and every lap. So in this show, we're going to be drifting through two more sequels in the series. One marks the end of the energetic and iconic sound of the early games in the series, and the other blazes the path forward towards the more recent direction of the soundtracks. First up, we're going to talk about Rave Racer that was released on Namco System 22 hardware. This game landed in arcades in 1995 alongside of some other monster titles like Air Combat 22, Ace Driver Victory Lap, Cyber Cycles, Dirt Dash, and Time Crisis in what would probably be the best year of arcade greatness from this 32-bit arcade board. This time around the course, Namco brought quite a few major upgrades to this game graphically with higher polygon counts and more detail to the world around the track. It also featured the first game's long and short versions of the racetracks in higher fidelity and introduced two new tracks called City and Mountain. Rave Racer is also notable for being the third Ridge Racer arcade game in just 3 years, and for it becoming the definitive way to play this generation of the series thanks to new features like force feedback steering wheels, as well as having even more accurate and responsive controls. This game also interestingly marks the introduction to the series' mascot/racing queen, Rieko Nagase, who appears in this game's attract mode video sequence wearing an exceptionally cool leather jacket with Rave Racer across the back. Technically, she's unnamed at this point, but she would go on to be formally named in the PlayStation 1 release of Rage Racer and become the famous lead to the introduction movies of Ridge Racer games thereafter. But let's switch gears and get into the music from this venerable quartet of composers in their last Ridge Racer soundtrack together. The ultra-ravey and fun track that opened the show is called LINX On by Shinji Hosoe, and to get us started on this next block, we're going to listen to X Notes by Nobuyoshi Sano. This track is probably one of the most colorful and creative songs on the soundtrack with its twinkly lead and its awesome tempo-changing breakdown. I recently got to have a chat with friend of the show, Fantakun, about our love of this soundtrack, and this song in particular stands out as a favorite of both of ours. Fantakun definitely knows their stuff, so I'm sure you'll like this tune too. They run the @RidgeRacerTunes Twitter account, as well as the excellent YouTube channel called Fantason. Check the show notes for a link to find their channel and watch their excellently themed video game music playlist. Following X Notes, we're going to listen to Rare Hero 3, Pacific Mix, that's also by Sano. This song is the third version of this classic tune, and it's probably my favorite version, with its chilled beats and short tribute to the Game Over theme from 1983's Pole Position 2. Then we'll hear a track from Ayako Saso called Euphoria. This song has a sweet lead, layered video gamey type sounds, and an ultra fun rave piano breakdown. We'll follow that one with another speedy and hyperactive rave tune called Heat Floor by Megaten that hits all of the classic elements of Shinji's Ridge Racer music that's perfect for flying through corners to. After that, we'll hear the wildly unexpected curiosity of a track by Sano called Jazz Mission. It has a shocking intro of unified chaos before the unbeatably cool jazzy piano and stand-up bassline take over. Then last, we'll listen to the tropical and dancey sounds of Blue Topaz by J99. This song's conga beat and beachy vibes are a smooth and grooving tune that's a great way to play out this block. Alright, let's get ready to floor it off the starting line and listen to these excellent rave racing tunes, and I'll be back after that to talk about Rage Racer on the original PlayStation.
let it hit 'em. Let it hit 'em.
In 1996, a year after Namco released Rave Racer in the arcade as the third game in the series, Ridge Racer Revolution was released on the PlayStation 1 and became the second game in the series for home consoles. Just 1 year later, in 1997, Namco released the third game in the series for the PlayStation 1, and just like Rave Racer, changed the title slightly, calling it Ridge Racer. Its competition in the racing game world that year included Need for Speed 2 and Gran Turismo. So, Ridge Racer needed to do something different and set the groundwork for the future of the series by separating itself from the candy-colored brightness and soundtracks of the arcade games. This game, in effect, transitions the series into becoming a true console experience by delivering a bolder and sleeker game that features a darker and more realistic-looking graphical style. It also gave gamers the ability to customize their own team logo, pick colors of their cars, as well as having a simulation-style customization process to fine-tune aspects of your car's performance. All of this comes together under the umbrella of a conceptual story that explains the goal of not only just winning races, but also trying to gain the title of being the one true Ridge Racer. Another interesting aspect that was established in this game was the introduction of the fictional car brands that were meant to replicate real-life car manufacturers that would also go on to be seen in future games in the series. This included Gina Day from Germany, which was meant to be similar to Audi. Then there's Adage from France that was meant to be similar to Renault. Then there's also Lizard, which was meant to resemble the American-style muscle car. And finally, Azzaludo, the Italian manufacturer that's meant to be similar to Lamborghini. The courses in Ridge Racer were also upgraded from the original games as well, and, similar to the Need for Speed series, included tracks that were intended to resemble real-life locations like the Mediterranean-inspired Mythical Coast, the San Francisco-like hilly environments of Overpass City, the twisting and scenic turns of Lakeside Gate, and the incredibly challenging course with long straights called the Extreme Oval. Of course, it's also worth mentioning that our grid girl and racing mascot for the series is back. This time, Ryoko appears in the series' first full-motion CGI intro sequence, which of course is another treat that Ridge Racer introduced that has gone on to become a regular feature in following games. Now, unlike the soundtrack to Rave Racer, this game marks a departure from the game's earlier rave and club sound, and instead transitions into a combination of electronica, breakbeats, and drum and bass inspiration. Namco's new sound team for this entry features two newcomers that were tasked with developing the fresh sounds to drive this series forward. First is Tetsukazu Nakanishi in his first major soundtrack, who has gone on to create music for the Ace Combat series as well as appearances in Tekken games. He also later returned to the Ridge Racer series with 2 tracks on the beloved Ridge Racer Type 4 soundtrack and 1 song on both Ridge Racer 6 and Ridge Racer 7. The other composer is Hiroshi Okubo. He got his start with Namco Soccer Prime Goal on the PlayStation and arcade, as well as getting his start in the Ridge Racer series with Ridge Racer Revolution. He later went on to compose for Ridge Racer Type 4, R Racing Evolution, We Love Katamari, Mario Kart Arcade GP DX, and most recently in Tekken 8. Alright, let's get into the Ridge Racer mood and listen to some of the music for our next block. We're going to start things off with a track called Introduction from the Japanese version of the game. This very sultry and enthusiastically expressed voiceover tells the general plot behind this game and definitely sets the tone. After that, we're going to drop right into the song called Ridge Racer with its guitars and super speed drums that sets the record straight with this one. This isn't your dad's Ridge Racer. Following that track, we're going to listen to another speed demon of a tune called Mathemabeat. This song is pure energy, and for those of you who are listening closely and love the soundtrack to Einhander, you'll hear a voice sample that was used in this track that was also used in the song called Badlands from that soundtrack. After that, we're going to listen to Lightning Luge, which is quite possibly one of the coolest breakbeat and drum and bass combo songs from this soundtrack. This one is definitely full of vigor and has a killer collection of drum breaks and soft synthy goodness. Following quickly on the tail of that track is Volcano Vehicle, which is another awesome breakbeat electronic tune that has a bit of a darker sound to it than the others, but really packs a spark of power with the voice samples and crazy percussion that also is kind of a throwback to the original game's vibe. We'll follow that one with the 20th Anniversary Sounds album version of the Result song. This funky and grooving track was remastered for the album by Tetsukazu Nakanishi alongside of Shinji Hosoe, and it's an instant classic. Then last in this block, we're going to vibe out to the beautifully remastered version of the song called Silver Stream from that same album. Ayako Saso and Hiroshi Okubo collaborate on this majestic and ethereal sounding track with its unbeatable pianos that are mixed with a loving dose of drum and bass beats, making this easily one of the top songs from this game. Alright, let's hit it and finish the final lap to become the one and only Ridge Racer. Enjoy these tunes, and I'll be back after that.
Ridge Racer. The deep, primitive, roaring exhaust notes titillate the base instincts of those who become known as Rage Racers. No one knows how the race started, or how the contestants became known as Rage Racers. Contestants dangerously living on the edge. Those who live for the moment and love the heady perfume of nitro, smoked rubber, and hot asphalt. Meeting together for one purpose, to be the best there is. The ultimate, the number one, Rage Racer.
gonna bust it to the max.
Alright, so that's the show. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode about the raving and breakbeat madness of the soundtracks to the arcade release of Rave Racer and the PlayStation 1 version of Ridge Racer. If you want to interact with the show and tell me what you think about my selections in this episode, you can follow me on a variety of social media platforms. That includes Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky. Following the show in those locations are exactly where you can find great screenshots, artwork, music clips, and various information about the games that are featured in each episode. Check the show notes to follow along on your favorite platform of choice. If you're enjoying this show's selection of incredibly great video game music each month, please consider taking a moment to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're listening to this show, because I'd really love to hear what you think. Don't forget, you can go to barSILENCE.com to listen to past shows if you've missed any. And of course, if you're feeling giving, you can always support barSILENCE on Patreon. For already subscribing, I want to thank the members of the Legion of VGM for supporting the show. Zoe, Alusa, and Cameron, I truly appreciate you Rage Racing champions, and I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you want to join this team of cool cats and become a member of the Legion of VGM yourself, you can subscribe for as little or as much as you want, and you'll get access to a bonus episode of awesome music each month. Be sure to check the show notes for a link to learn more. I would also like to thank friends of the show and Legion members, Aaron of the excellent video game variety podcast, Super Pod Saga, as well as Professor Tom of the Shujin Academy VGM Club. You can and should check out both of these shows wherever you find podcasts, as well as on TerraPlayer. Alright, to wrap this show up, I've got one more track to play us out. We're going to listen to the end credits theme from Rave Racer called Deep Drive. If you're a fan of the jazz fusion of T-Square or Cassiope, then you're going to love this energetic and lush track. Anyway, enjoy this final song, and as always, thanks again for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.
You blew it! Better luck next time. Game over.